The Alliance, you know, is an A-class submarine, and they were running around during the war on trials and commissioned actually into the Navy after the war. The Alliance was commissioned in '47, but it was really built for the war in the Pacific. My wife said to me in 1982, she said, there's an advert in the Portsmouth Evening News. She said, they want guides in the museum. So I came down and went round a couple of times with the guides, and I loved it.
So, ladies and gents, on coming on board HM Submarine Alliance, I would ask you please to be extra careful of both head height and feet height. So please duck your head as you come in and watch yourself as you join the submarine. Okay? I joined here in year 2000 as a volunteer guide for Submarine Alliance specifically. And so in fact I'm in my 11th year now as a guide down here, which of course is an absolute privilege to show people, members of the public as well as service people, of course, around dear old Alliance. Well, I would personally say it is ultra importance, because the public people who come down here to be shown the trueness of life on board a submarine, I feel are better suited to be explained by guides who have served aboard A-class submarines in particular, for obvious reasons, because the Alliance is the backbone of our Submarine Museum here. And members of the public ask questions which, and please don't think I'm being rude, but unless you had the experience of being a ship's member and crew member, I think would sometimes be very difficult to truly answer correctly. So I consider it's a very high profile to be a past submariner.
On the top of the starboard engine, we fitted a castle spanner and a Samson. They wouldn't be there when the engines are running. We've only fitted it here to show you what we require to do our maintenance. 6 stokers, one with a rope block, one with a 28-pound hammer, just to slacken these nuts off on the cylinder head so we can lift the heads. We can do all our own maintenance. Exhaust gases we collect together, pass out over the side via the group exhausts. I really enjoyed all my time in submarines. I was drafted into them, I never volunteered. But from the first day in them, I enjoyed it. And what I'm doing mainly now is still enjoying myself, because I'm now telling people of my experiences. And the way I look at it is that we're all getting a bit of good out of it.
You had to have had a good background experience of the submarine service. I mean, I served just on 20 years in submarines. So can we put it this way, I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and this type of thing. Of course, you always get the odd person, I read in a book, so and so and so and so, and as I say to people, don't believe all you read in a book. There's nothing like someone telling you who's had the personal experience.
My advice is really and truthfully is, and excuse my expression, don't ever bullshit. If you bullshit, you will get caught out. And so as I've mentioned to guys who are a little bit my junior, if you like, over the years, I've said just that to them, because it's so easy to get led by certainly members of yesteryear who will quickly find out your shortcomings if you're not very careful. So it's far better to be absolutely honest, up front. Try not to be too serious. A little bit of humour now and again. I'm not very good at humour, I have to say, but some people are better than others. But if you do have a natural humoristic type of touch in your build-up, then use it a little bit, because otherwise I think you find you can lose people.
3 rules I live by, and I tell everybody coming in here. The men in the tour want facts and figures. They want weights and speeds and things. The women in the tour want anecdotes. They want to know how you lived, what food you ate, how you ate it, how you felt, especially the state of cleanliness and the different people getting on together. But most importantly, you must keep the children amused.
All of a sudden, up the top, sight a ship. So we got to get below the sea and get down there fast. So he would shout it down to him, the helmsman there, press the diving klaxon twice, be prepared for this. Press the diving klaxon twice, dive, dive, and you get it. Right? That's one of those awful things in every compartment. So that's no good saying I never heard it, sir. Okay? Now, do you reckon that will wake you up? Yeah, that's the object of it, see? I do enjoy taking the little children through. It's surprising at times when you take little children through some of the questions that they ask.
Once upon a time when you're using a periscope you can only search the horizon. So what they did there, they changed the lens, but if you twist that round, here we are, they used to change the lens 90 degrees so you could search the skies as well, because aircraft was one of the biggest enemies of submarines, because they could see you from miles away. So if we saw an aircraft 40 miles away, we'd dive out the way. Okay?
You just go really deep so they can shoot you.
Go deep so they can't see us, no.
You've got to be a certain type to take a tour, and you've got to, when you get in, look at what you've got, the public, and there's children, there's old people, there's young people, that some are deaf, some are foreign, and you've got to, they've all paid, and you've got to make sure that they come off and they've, you know, had their money's worth, or they've enjoyed the tours they've been on.
Now the thing is, when we're down periscope depth, and I must say, assume that it's night time outside and it's daylight in here, and we have to change the lighting, and I'm going to do that now. Okay. Do you like that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Because if you're looking through periscopes, your eyes would not be accustomed. So now we've assumed that we fired our torpedoes. Then the people up top want to find out, who don't like that sort of thing, so they're going to come and listen and find out where we are. Now this has been put on a speaker. Normally you wouldn't hear it. That's a ship on the surface, pinging. It's in contact, there's 2 notes, okay? Got a range of around about 3,000 yards. In the meantime, the captain is very likely doing all sorts of manoeuvres, going deep, changing course, doing all sorts, to try and evade him. You'll hear the ship go over the top. Here it comes. He's going to start dropping depth charges, dustbins full of explosives. That little knock is a detonator on a depth charge being set at a particular depth, and then you get the big bang. That's not on there, is it?
There is not another A-class submarine in this world, and yesterday's world needs to be kept for the future generations.
This is the last conventional submarine that we have. It's an old last World War submarine. I think it's very important that it should be preserved for the public.
History is something we all grew up with. My day at school, it was Agincourt and all those totally uninteresting things because it had no relevance. Whereas, of course, I now see it completely different with Submarine Alliance, which was yesterday's history lesson for our generation of today. And I think it's absolutely ultra important that we look after the project of saving the Alliance. Sorry, forever and ever, amen for me.